Hey YouTube, welcome back to the second half of the St. Louis Rams franchise, Week 2. Rams versus Giants in New York. Tie game 3-3. 6-minute quarters all Madden. I'll get all the plug-in aside here in the beginning. Follow me on Twitter, at JVegas420. Like and subscribe to videos. Check out the Titans franchise. Like the videos. 50 likes on Week 1 videos will result in me making my Ultimate Team franchise. And I've decided that 50 likes also on Week 2 videos, or 150 likes. I said 150 likes in the last video on the Titans franchise, but I went back and did some annotations on an old episode. And there you see Butler coming up with the user pick and trying to return it. He gets tackled after a gain of a couple yards. It doesn't really matter. They intercepted it in key territory. But check out my other playlists, y'all. Like the videos. I'll put up more videos if you guys like the videos. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm going to keep putting up these franchise videos consistently. But if you guys want more videos, just tell me. Tell me what to do. If you guys like these Madden videos, if you want to see me do a Skyrim videos, I have Skyrim, I have Bioshock 2 I can do a walkthrough for if you guys need help on that. I have Batman Arkham City, I can do walkthroughs on that also if you guys want. I don't have that many games, I only just have the best games, so please let me know. As Sam Bradford throws a very iffy pass there. I was waiting for Lloyd. I couldn't get my eye off of him because I had a feeling that he was going to come off that little bind he was in over there on the right side. I don't know if any of y'all saw that. If you didn't, just rewind like 10 seconds and watch that play again. Sam Bradford lining up in the backfield, hiking the ball. And Clayton comes up with a good catch to convert on third down. His second reception of the game. Bradford has 3 picks on the season. Just over 170 yards passing, so he's not having a great year. And realistically, it seems about right. Gibson in the slot does a quick little in route and gains 8 yards, so they thought I was running on first down. Coming up and doing a different play was a great choice there. And here we go. We're going to toss it out to the outside. Steve Jackson can just beat the defenders on the play here. And we're going to give him a little bit more room than that. Only because I'm going to flip this play like this. Watch. And then Miller's going to motion. And then we'll have key blocks all the way. Oh, man. Nobody blocked. Did you see that? Nobody blocked on the play. So I know I said I was going to be pretty objective about this game. But I know it's kind of seeming like I'm going for my team. I'm going to go for my team more times than not, but I will try to be as objective as possible. You guys tell me what you like more. Me talking a bunch of shit about other teams, or me being objective like a normal commentator would be. So as you see, 3rd and 4, and it's a holding penalty. It's declined by the New York Giants, and we will be forced to kick another field goal. I know I was going for it on 4th down on every play like on the last games, but I was being an asshole. And I'm not going to do that on this one because I think you guys want to see these teams win. I don't think you want to see me fucking around as much on the game. I will do some risky go big or go home plays just because it possibly will pay off and make it an even better video for people to watch. Like that last game with or the very first week video of the Titans franchise. That game went into overtime and we were playing the Jaguars. So I mean, stuff like that's going to happen. And this is a very defensive game here. Just like the beginning of the last Rams game was pretty defensive. And as we see Manning line up his Giants in the shotgun set, Mod Bradshaw lined up on his left side. And they motion Ballard over to the left. And Manning made a mistake motioning Ballard over to the left as Long was lined up on the right side on that play. Came off his block there. You see him. And he just hits him for the sack. I think that's his second of the game. Second key play of the game. And Eli Manning not really knowing what to do with the defensive front of the St. Louis Rams. I didn't think they were this good. Bannon breaking off a couple blocks, and oh, Manning gets crushed on the play as he throws. Almost looked like it was a fumble. We'll take a look at that play again, too. Let's see if Manning doesn't move his arm forward. He's throwing. He has a forward arm motion. That's an incomplete pass. Good call by the refs there. Even though the refs always know what's right on this game for some reason. I wish there were more opportunities to challenge the play, and I wish there was options like on the old games where you choose and pick what you challenge. Anyway, this isn't forums. I'm not making a wish list, and Manning comes up with another incomplete pass. So many of you will probably be saying, All Pro is too easy for you. You're obviously fucking up the Giants with the shitty-ass Rams. But, you know, I'm going to bring up the difficulty. I said earlier in the video, I'm going to bring up the difficulty. I normally play all Madden, but I had been playing with this slider set because I had been wanting a different experience on Madden. I hadn't just wanted to have to exploit the defense for on the computer, like exploiting the computer's defense. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted a game where it would play like me watching a game. It would be a little bit less effort on my part. I like Madden a lot competitively, like a lot of people do, to play online and all that. But I'm more of a Madden sim style player. I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. And that's why I have the all pro settings on, because everybody's stuff's equal. I think it's 50 for both sides. So we both have an equal chance. And the computer's not a dumb player, not a lot of the time. And on all Madden, it's just a Jewish player. And no offense to Jews, but it's something that I use to mean stingy. That might be worse than me saying Jew and not explaining it to you, but it's a South Park reference more than anything. South Park is my favorite show. Don't take it so seriously. I'm not a dick. And you see Mark Clayton come up with a big reception there, his third of the game, also becoming a main target for Sam Bradford. So maybe I spoke too soon with the difficulty being a little bit too easy, as I'm just driving down the field very, very simply on this Giants team. And yes, maybe you guys are right. But if you like this difficulty, if you like the scores that are yielding from these short quarters, the longer I make the quarters, the more difficult I'm going to make the game. So if you guys want longer quarters, let me know, and I'll make the quarters longer. If you guys want higher difficulty, then I'm going to have to make the quarters longer, because if I want to compete, the computer seems to be a little bit more time clock, management oriented when you play on higher difficulties, and lower the sliders for the user and higher the sliders for the computer. So I might change this to be an 8-minute franchise. As you see, the Rams get a touchdown there on the Giants. I showed you guys all the matchups and everything, and the Rams actually matched up well against this team because of injuries. So I mean, that right outside linebacker's injured for them, and that guy just got burned on the play. So, I mean, if you guys think this is, fucked up and I'm winning too easily, then you're obviously not paying attention to how football works. It's all about matchups. That's why I love fantasy, because fantasy teaches you more about football than watching football will. It teaches you, because these specific players are out of the game, or they haven't been playing well lately, then you're going to be able to exploit that part of their defense. And that's what I do. That's why I yield points easily on the all Madden difficulties sometimes. And if you know how to play football, these games are easier. If you try to play Madden and you're a Madden player and you don't really know that much about football, then it's going to be tough for you. You're going to be trying to go long on every play, trying to get all the best teams and using the fastest receivers, and it's just not going to work out for you. So we're going into the fourth quarter, 13-3. The Giants have the ball, and I am playing a no switch rule team type style on this game style too. So if you guys are complaining, they're getting plays off. I'm just holding them when I need to, I guess. I'm not really trying though, seriously, because I'm trying to commentate. I have no notes for this. I'm going to start writing notes just to have people from the rosters, their colleges, so that I can mention what colleges they go to while while commentating on the game, because I know people like to hear that, know like how many years they've been in the league and possibly their weight and height, and maybe some key stats about each, like players for the Rams mostly, but I will do some other, if there are key games, as Eli runs and is off to the races, and he makes a huge play after he doesn't even slide. 27-yard rush for Manning there. Jeez. I don't know why I wasn't even covering that. I guess I didn't expect him to run because it's Eli, but you know, he does take off sometimes, so. That was a good play by Eli there. Anyway, I'll get back to commentary. I'll stop droning on. Eli Manning with Ahmad Bradshaw in the backfield. Hakeem Nicks, Mario Manningham on the left side. Ahmad Bradshaw gets the ball, and a couple really bad misplayed tackles by me, and Ahmad Bradshaw's in the end zone. I did not do that on purpose by any means. I'm serious. That wasn't a joke at all. That was just a really good play by the New York Giants. Damn it. Well, I actually, to be honest, one of these next couple weeks in the season, in the real season in real life, when that week happened, I think it's probably like week 3 or 4. Ahmad Bradshaw was like one of the fantasy running backs of the week. He had like the most points. He had put up the most points on fantasy, so I don't remember exactly what week it was. Editor will probably tell me. Making the editor work today. I've been fucking up a lot too on the commentating, so that's gonna be a burn. I hope you guys find that guy pretty funny. I mean, I talk to him like he's another person, but he's obviously me doing it, because who else would be doing it but me? And I hope you guys like his little quirky, sarcastic comments as Steve Jackson draws a face mask on the play and gets a first down after 15-yard gain there. So the Giants just shooting themselves in the foot after scoring on the last play. There's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Motioning Jones over to the left side for some blocking help. And Jones comes up with the key block, and Jackson is gone. Jackson will not be caught. That's a touchdown, Rams. Finally, Jackson breaks out, and that's the way I like to see him run on this game. That was a beautiful play. I'm loving that running play there. We're going to rewatch that again as he just perfectly weaved in through the blocks like he was sewing a goddamn sweater for the president. That is a touchdown. Steve Jackson pretty much sealing the game there for the Rams. We'll see what happens here. I always say that. And then what happened on the Titans franchise, everybody? Overtime happened. And we were up with like 40 seconds left in the game. So I also spoke too soon on the last Rams game, too. Right in the beginning, I said something like, well, I guess I'm going to be able to contend with the Eagles in this game, or something like that. And what happened? If you haven't watched that yet, I won't tell you what happened. But what happened in that game, if you know what foreshadowing is, I pretty much dished it to you, right to you. I underhanded it right to you. You could figure out exactly what happened in that game. We didn't get totally crushed. Some people would say we did. We lost by, I'll just tell you, we lost by 3 scores. And Ahmad Bradshaw, another big run play. And he's off on the first play for an 80-yard touchdown. Check out the other week of the Rams franchise. This is insane. The Rams just cannot hold the lead. We have 2-score lead, and we just cannot execute. The last game we didn't have a lead. We were tied. And then we just got raped the rest of the game, pretty much. Lost about 28-10 in that game. Check it out if you guys haven't watched it. Eagles fans will love it. Deshaun Jackson has a really nice couple plays in that game. And Jacoby Jones returns the ball as they kick it short of the end zone, and he is forced to return it. And he only gets to the 17-yard line. So, 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. 20-17. Giants trying to come back and make it a game. It's becoming a classic here, guys. Week 2 of this Rams franchise only, and we already have a great game. So we toss it to Gibson. He brushes off a tackle and then gets hit after a first down. We're going to let the clock tick down for a little while I smoke a bowl. I'm afraid to give Eli the ball back again. Packing another bowl. Jackson gets to the outside pitch. Makes a nice move. And now he looks like he's going to make a big play. He shoves off a guy with a stiff arm. Jackson has 134 yards rushing on the game. And I should probably, after seeing that play happen, people are going to be bitching about how easy this difficulty is. But jeez. This is an insane game. I will turn up the difficulty. I'll fix the slider set a little bit in the next couple games. I just want to see how what these sliders yield at, like scores and stats for a while, and then I'll adjust them minorly, and then I'll show you guys what I do, so you can see, if you want to play with these types of sliders. But right now, this is straight all pro 6 minutes. And I'll adjust them. And I'll show you guys, definitely. So we're gonna try to sneak them on a pass play here. Bradford connects to his #1 wide receiver, Lloyd, for his second reception of the game. Not really doing much today, but I like to spread the ball around. I don't normally go just to one receiver. I go more to the running backs than the receivers. I'm run oriented. I like moving. I'm pretty good on the sticks. That's why. I mean, you guys can see I burn some defenses and shit. So, try to make a juke move there. Justin gets brought down after an 11-yard gain, and we're just gonna pretty much run the clock out here. So they're gonna start calling timeouts right about this point. Sam Bradford's completed 7 completions in a row in this game. He is becoming a pretty decent quarterback in my eyes, and I don't understand why I didn't see it before. Lloyd, #1 receiver, comes up with a late touchdown pass, and that'll put the game away. That'll put the game away for the St. Louis Rams. And it looks like they're going to come up with a win here against the tough New York Giants team. And for some reason, the Giants just did not show up to play this game. Had a lot of injuries, as we saw early in the game. A lot of key defensive injuries. And there you see Brandon Lloyd's stats. 3 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Fantasy owners, they won't be too happy with that. But we'll see what happens here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get the ball back one more time. Maybe I'll heave it deep just to be an asshole late in the game to get Bradford's stats back up. I do want him to be a contending quarterback in the league. In the next few weeks, like I said, we'll be looking at overall season stats for each team. Well, not each team, but like the top. We'll look at the top 10 best quarterbacks. We'll look at the top 10, and then we'll look at the top 10 best quarterbacks teams and see what they're doing. We'll look at the top 5 best running backs. We'll look at their teams and see what they're doing. And we'll look at the top 2 or 3 wide receivers. And we'll see if, we'll see what's going on there. So, this is a great game, you guys. I'm really enjoying this series. It's so fun to play. I started this series just as strictly YouTube. Don't play it any other time but playing on YouTube. And Fletcher, Thomas he just cannot be stopped. He comes up with the catch, and I thought that was going to be a pick for sure. Oh my God, who got burned on that play? That was horrible. Manning runs up, starts the no huddle, passes it right back to the good receiver Thomas, and he breaks a few tackles, or just breaks the angles of a few defenders there. And he makes the game another one-point game. So all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, both teams explode on scoring. And they're saying, let's make this game a shootout. We didn't want this shit to be so defensive. And all of a sudden it's an offensive game here. So what a change of events. They're going to onside kick it because they only have 2 timeouts. If we recover here, it's game. And we recover. Clayton going to make a little move, try to get some blocks. And there's a face mask on the play. And we're going to just run the ball so that they can call their 2 timeouts that they have left. Kick the field goal to make the game 30-24. And that's probably where we're going to leave this game. If you guys want to still watch, I'll leave the gameplay on. But this game's pretty much over as the Giants call their first timeout. We'll look at stats at the end of the game if you want to stay tuned. I'll put the link. I'll start the links now till the end of the video, and you guys can click them whenever you feel like you want to click them for the next video. So, Jackson. I'll make a end of week 2 video right now. We'll look at some stats for our team so far just after 2 games, and we'll look at maybe some transactions around the league since we're probably not going to pick up anybody here in the second week. I'm liking this team. There you see Mark Clayton coming up with the first down catch, then that'll end the game. So Steve Jackson gets a bruised forearm on the play. We'll leave him in. And we're just going to kneel it out and kick the field goal. So, thanks for tuning in, y'all. You guys are the shit. You know, like and subscribe to videos. The links are down there right now. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Steve Jackson, player of the game, 17 carries, 136 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a 58-yard run. Here we'll see one of the best plays in the game. And it's Clayton coming up with a very nice catch down the center of the field, shaking off a tackle, making a nice little move right into a defender, getting stuffed on the play. (30-24), Rams take it. Move to 1-1. Looking to say fuck having a losing record this year. And we'll take a look at the stats really quick for all of you that stayed up to this point. And look at that. 376 yards total offense for the Rams. And I'm really liking these out-of-the-box all-pro settings right now. Playing these is being tough, but it's gonna go easier and easier once I get used to it. So I'm gonna have to switch the sliders up just a little bit, like I was saying earlier. And you guys can see here, Bradford has a 102.8 rating, the better quarterback in the game, obviously. Eli Manning was 7 for 14 for 120 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Sam Bradford improves his stats. After having a better game than his first game, he had 176 yards this game on 16 passes, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. We'll look at Steven Jackson, the player of the game, and he had 17 carries for 136 yards and a touchdown. And Ahmad Bradshaw, right with a better average, better yards in the game, a better running back in the game actually. Even though Jackson gets the win in the game, Ahmad Bradshaw 7 carries, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns, carrying the load for the Giants, trying to keep their team in it. So we'll look here at the receiving stats, and look at St. Louis spreading the ball around here. Mark Clayton and Brandon Lloyd, 7 receptions combined, and they have a touchdown, which was respectively Brandon Lloyd's for over 80 yards there on there. And here Jacoby Jones and Steve Jackson both combined for 5 receptions and just over 50 yards. Or am I miscalculating that? Oh, 49 yards actually, just under 50 yards. So the Giants, Ahmad Bradshaw was their number 1 receiver. He had 21 yards. Actually, not their number 1 receiver in terms of yards, but in terms of receptions. And he had 3 receptions for 21 yards. Devin Thomas coming up with the most yards in the game for a receiver. 2 receptions, 85 yards. They went deep to him on that one play and absolutely raped me. And then they threw it right back to him on the next play. He went around, made a couple moves, slid off a couple defenders, and scored a touchdown. And we'll look at defensive, because I know I forgot to do that in the first video for the Rams. And you'll see here, in terms of solo tackles, the Giants were just raping. Even Jake Ballard had 2 tackles. So obviously they were doing something defensively in the game, but they couldn't stop the passing game from Bradford. Bradford and his very, very good receivers. Now you'll see the number one tackler for St. Louis in this game was Pop Binga from BYU, 6-year vet. He had 2 tackles. And we'll look at the interceptions, and it was James Butler that came up with the interception. Turned that for 13 yards. And we'll look at the sacks here. Sack leaders in the game. We'll take out both teams. And Chris Long coming up with 2 sacks in this game. Obviously being a beast for us and defensively making a stand. Bannon also gets a sack in the game. And only 1 sack on quarterback Sam Bradford by Umenyora. O.C. Umenyora from Troy. What a weird, crazy name. Must be some kind of Pacific Islander type name. And yeah, so the links are below. Take it easy, guys, and tune into the next video.